This morning, Thursday, the CCSA announced new record numbers for COVID cases discovered around the country. 17,669. That will be based on tests taken several days ago. 165 new deaths were reported exacerbated by the virus. The Deputy Health Minister yesterday laid claim to a conversation with the Prime Minister, which he states saw the Prime Minister stating that the current intensity and effect of the COVID pandemic here could remain at a high for the next month, but we'll see a drop in effect after that. This, as the Prime Minister also told all agencies within the government to ensure that the people are aware of the reality of the current status. The meeting also revealed that a review of the current curfew status, along with current regulations, will be reviewed in 2 weeks unless circumstances see a sooner need. Is Thailand making that much of a mess of the vaccine programme? Well, looking at the figures posted by the CCSA of 15 million plus doses already given out, so in other words the equivalent of 2 doses for just 7.5 million people, against a population of 66 million, it could be read that way, and has certainly caught the attention of many on social media. Whilst the rollout to the public has been anything but smooth and vaccination allocations to other regions, such as our own, have been annoyingly reallocated to the capital in the past, which has seen those regions reporting record case numbers, when you look at the real figures, it's slightly different. Close to 20 million Thais are under the age of 24, and that's the age bracket that has not been vaccinated in most other countries, which leaves a total of 46 million, who should, under normal circumstances, have the vaccine. Of those, the priority group has to date been those over 60 and those with underlying conditions. Those over 60 add up to approximately 12 million people. Add to that those with genuine illnesses that would make them vulnerable, and you have a total of perhaps 16 million. And with a goal of perhaps 70% vaccination, brings the number within those groups to 11.2 million, requiring 22.4 million shots for all who double vaccinated. With the country within perhaps 4 to 6 weeks of achieving that goal, the next age group from 50 up can expect vaccinations after that date. For comparison, the UK shows 90% of all over 60s vaccinated, whilst countries such as Australia report only 3% of the nation's 25 million people have been fully inoculated against the virus. This isn't a pat on the back for the CCSA, far from it, but it is correct mathematics, which shows that despite a sluggish approach, the programme is slowly getting to where it needs to be. Meanwhile, the US government has promised a further 2.5 million doses of vaccination in an agreement with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and they've already supplied over 1.5 million doses to date. And Switzerland has donated an estimated 300 million baht worth of equipment for hospitals and treatment centres that arrived in the capital early today. The Department of Land Transport has worked with national police to ensure that the relaxation of licensing rules is implemented, as the DLT itself remains closed to those requiring licence renewals. Driving on an expired licence is allowed until at least the end of September. However, those with licences that expired more than 3 years ago at that date, well, they'll be required then to retake driving tests fully. This does mean, though, that at a traffic stop, you can't be fined for showing an out-of-date Thai driving licence. As we named it earlier this week, the COVID Express, and the name has stuck with major news outlets copying, the aptly named train has been running this week, assisting many from the capital who have COVID symptoms to return to their northeastern homesteads, reducing the caseload on hospitals in the capital, but passing that on to local medical facilities, which we're told in some areas are filling fast too. And the Department of National Parks, Wildlife and Plant Conservation has withdrawn an order that would have seen all national parks, including Koh Samet, close for 2 months to allow nature to recover from footfall. Complaints from the population of Samet, which is currently open to visitors, combined with other parks, has seen the order withdrawn, as it was pointed out that footfall at all park areas has diminished to such a level that nature has an excellent chance of recovery without closures. Meanwhile at home, and in our own region, Chonburi, this morning we received reports of nearly 1,000 new cases, 982. Banglamung itself, which includes Pattaya, reporting 228, Neighbouring Sirachar at 221, Chonburi City itself 149, Satahip 30 and Banglamung 142. Postal services to numerous postcodes, including some local ones, have been halted by the post office this week. As we went to post T-shirts kindly bought by listeners and viewers, so the packages were rejected in most cases based on the postcodes. Anyone expecting mail that hasn't arrived may well find that their area is unavailable for delivery, and we have no word when that ban will be lifted. In Pattaya, food is a huge issue for many, as the region seems to be excluded from the financial welfare funding for its population, despite being number 3 in the national COVID charts. Food lines of people who queue for hours in the hot sun have re-emerged. Despite requests from City Hall and provincial offices, registering for funding by individuals and companies has until now been refused by the online government service. Meanwhile, supermarkets are seeing panic shopping in some stores, despite no issue in delivery and restocking. Markets too, those that are open, have seen a smaller number of sellers and shoppers. And the Pattaya Tourist Business Association has stated that the region is struggling to survive and needs help, citing original promises of 900,000 vaccines for this region and the claim that the region so far has received just 70,000, that's under 8%, with the rest reallocated to the capital area. He basically stated clearly that the region seems to have been left to its own devices, with closures at some level expected to remain in force here until at least the end of September. Without doubt, his claims, along with others, are hoped not to fall on deaf ears. City Hall for sure has done its level best, however, it has little clout compared to those closer and more powerful regional offices in and around Bangkok. And proving that bridges are no match for poor GPS, a lady driving an overladen pickup truck full of durian fruit spread under a low archway in Chonburi yesterday, leading to wheels up, as a truck stuck on 2 instead of 4. Tailbacks grew over an hour as it took that long to unwedge her and her truck from the underpass. And social media warriors, well, they saw the funny side. And with the Met Office promising highs today of 31 degrees dropping down to 27, another cooler day with the promise of rain this afternoon onwards. Local and national news today from Fabulous 103 FM and Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. And to get a notification every time we release another bulletin or programme, like and subscribe to our channel, Fabulous Pattaya Media Group, by using the link below.